Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Near Protocol's price chart. And I think in the previous video, we were around this area, and the idea was maybe we are having in here a 1, 2, and then another move down into wave 3, 4, 5, meaning we can have quite a deep move down. But overall, as long as we are not taking the low slope down here about $2.2, we can remain optimistic and say maybe this is an A, B, C zigzag. So what happened? We did continue our move on the downside, and do not get me wrong, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenario into wave C can still be in play, but I think now I should change some waves in here. Now, let me make one thing very clear. I still fully believe we are having an ABC. I'm now going to say the end of our C leg may have been right around this low. So question is, what is happening starting from here? I believe we may have an ABC in form of a running flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into a correction for wave B, which in this phase, we're going to take this low and then another move into wave C. And this is a key in it. We are not going to take the height of our wave A, okay? It's very important to understand that. When we take this height, we call this pattern an ABC expanded flat. And in terms of the subwaves, ABC up into A, ABC, or maybe WXY down into B, doesn't really matter. And then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into wave C. Now let's go on the live chart and count some waves. And maybe it's best to go on like 15-minute time frame. Okay, so what is happening in here? I believe there's a good chance we are having A, B, C in this area. And then this can be, yes, another A, B, C on the downside. Something like this. And probably from this point or maybe here, because in some other charts, the lows are a bit different. We are having overall a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure. So maybe these are on a higher degree subwaves for a beautiful A, B, C running flat like this. Now, what is going on starting from this side? I am now going to argue this is probably going to be an A, B, C zigzag, and the subwaves for it are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into A, correction for wave B. Let's consider this time a WXY and yet another 5 wave on the downside into wave C. Let's just go around here and maybe it's best to zoom a bit more. Okay, I think we can all agree this is a clear cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Followed by that, I believe this is probably a WXY or maybe an ABC structure. If you want to say between these two, this point right in here is our lowest low. I guess in that scenario, you can consider maybe like having an ABC flat, not really important. And there's a very good chance in Near Protocol, this is going to be another 5 wave on the downside. And I'm going to say in it, most likely we are going to take all these lows, and the lowest low in here is about $2.6. And on a higher degree, maybe we're gonna have, starting from this high, just another A, B, C zigzag. And well, even on a higher degree, now I'm gonna say maybe this is just a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And then from these areas, I'm hoping that we get a rather strong bounce back. Generally, in Near Protocol, as long as we are not taking this low down here about $2.2, any kind of move down, in my opinion, should be, according to our primary case, interpreted as a correction structure and not an impulse, which means after it's over, we are going to continue our uptrend. And finally, let's check out indicators and see what is happening. Let's zoom in more. Okay, so what is going on in H1 time frame? Let's hide everything. As you can see on the live chart, this is a low, this is a lower low, this is yet another low. However, in RSI and also MACD, we are having in here instead a series of higher lows. So this is a beautiful looking divergence right in here. Now, this by itself is an optimistic sign suggesting bears are kind of running out of power. However, you probably know what I'm about to say. The moment that we see a break of our divergence line, at that point, we should count on yet another, I would say rather, strong move on the downside in order to I'm gonna say probably complete the subwaves for our C leg, and then that will be it most likely, and hopefully our final low, and we can get our move up. So if you want to argue we are going to have this leg down, all eyes should be on this important divergence line and see are we going to break it or not. If we break it, that can be a good confirmation for this A, B, C scenario to play out in the short term. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Near Protocol. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.